just a few minutes ago, I received a call from your administrator and Criswell, and who's in Florida, and helping them recover, at least doing the initial assessment of that Category 3 storm that made landfill. And this morning I spoke again, where it seems like we should be on direct dial, the two of us, Governor DeSantis and I. We spoke again this morning. I let him know that I approved his major disaster declaration. And I also spoke with Governor McMaster's and with the for South Carolina's emergency declaration as well. And I spoke the day before to the governors of not just Florida and South Carolina, but of North Carolina as well as Georgia. And look, it means we're making available federal assistance for Florida survivors whose homes are damaged or destroyed by the declaration that I agreed to. And we're helping both Florida and South Carolina with the delivery of meals, waters, and debris removal that's going to help both states begin their road to recovery and do it immediately. But before we do anything, I'm here to thank all of you, and I really mean this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are making an incredible contribution. I mean, I hope the American people have a sense of, and it's hard to understand it because, we usually we're not this engaged this often. But this last couple of years with climate change and really kicking in, you guys are going 24 hours a day and 365 days a year. And it seems to just keep piling up. And I mean it sincerely. I admire what you do. I've been in almost every one of the areas you're talking about that you've had to deal with. And your brothers and sister organizations, from the Coast Guard to military, I mean, across the board. It's amazing the sacrifices, and I might add, risks your folks are taking out in the field. And so, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's important the American people understand it, because we're in a situation where, how can I say it? There's still some deniers out there in terms of whether or not climate change has anything to do with any of this. And we're going to need a whole hell of a lot more money to deal with emergency appropriations, to deal with all you're taking care of. And on behalf of the country, I want to deliver the heartfelt thanks to the emergency personnel in our communities all across the federal government, including right here, all of you in front of me, FEMA's National Response Coordination Center, and those out on Maui. It's just amazing. You've seen it. Some of you have been there. It's just pure devastation. That whole part of the island is just leveled. There's nothing left. And before this week's storm, we pre-deployed 1,500 federal personnel and Coast Guard throughout the Southeast. Federal search and rescue teams have been helping people whose homes have been surrounded and inundated by water. And FEMA and the Small Business Administration are on the ground to help residents whose homes and businesses have been destroyed or damaged. And I want to, again, thank you all. It really, really, really matters. And one more thing. Every American expects FEMA will show up. And when they're in the middle of a disaster, and I'm calling on Congress to make sure you're able and have the funds to be able to continue to show up and meet the needs of the American people to deal with immediate crises that we're facing right now, as well as the long-term commitments that we have to make to finish the job in Maui and elsewhere. Showing up for the moment to save the lives is critically important, but that's just the beginning. Just the beginning. And some of this is going to take months and years to make sure we restore the people to the circumstances they were before this disaster hit. And as I said, and to the people of Florida and throughout the Southeast, I'm here to make clear that our nation has your back, and we are not going to, we're not going to walk away. We're not going to give up. We're not going to slow down. And again, we're in a situation where, how can I say it? Some of my colleagues, my former colleagues in the Senate and people I work with every day, and the United States Senate think that this disaster relief money we're asking to continue to finish the job so far and have enough money to continue to work to save the American people, their lives, their homes, their well-being, is somehow, I don't know, not needed, or I'm not even sure what their thinking is. But we need this money done. We need this disaster relief request met, and we need to do it in September. We can't wait.